Movement, map movement, Poggies. We love the map.
Oh shit. Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Everybody slowly just left Vigorous.
Bro, who moved me?
Yeah, I
I
got
moved
moved.
you
Oh, okay, okay.
Hello?
because you
Touch
should
me again.
pay the
Fucking
fuck
snap.
pay the
Understand
fuck attention. Oh my god. Okay. All right, I'm ready.
All right.
that?
Um,
Cringe.
Pay attention.
let's see. So, I guess the quick little synopsis for Rift Herald stuff. I'm on my laptop, so I don't have all the nice, cool Epic Pen fun stuff. So we'll kind of break down the movement of it just off of Notepad. I'll kind of explain what goes into Rift Heralds, and then we'll kind of look at a XL versus Fnatic LEC spring split VOD and kind of apply most of the logic to it. So a little bit just of how, and I can make this text a little bit bigger. So a little bit about just general stuff as like a precursor to Rift Herald stuff is the idea that waves spawn every 30 seconds. So the way that you kind of break this down is how can you work backwards from your Herald spawn and which waves become most important. So Herald spawns at 8 minutes because we'll focus mostly on first Herald because once you get first Herald, you can kind of treat second Herald as just like the same kind of idea. But first Herald means a lot. So if your first Herald spawns at 8 minutes, then the most important wave for your 8-minute Rift Herald is the 8-minute mid wave. And then if you work backwards from that, I don't know how to signify backwards. The most important thing is actually the 730 wave on bot lane, because this is how you get your bot lane to move to Rift Herald. Because what you want to ideally have is you want to form yourself into 4 different scenarios for Rift Herald. And with these 4 different scenarios, you can basically like you can basically execute your game plan as if it was a flowchart. So you have start the Herald, you have fight the Herald, you have stall the Herald, and you have race the Herald. So to go into what each of these kind of mean, start the Herald, as it entails, you are the first team to touch Herald. You usually have numbers advantage. And then for the most part, like it's a freebie. This is kind of like a freebie Herald where you start it, you're strong, they can't come and fight you. It's basically yours.
Right.
Like this is your, freebie stuff. You have fight the Herald. This is when you are the second team to touch Herald. So you are opting into a fight into the enemy team. So the enemy has first setup. You're walking into them. Now this is kind of like contextualizing do you have a comp that can actually walk into another setup, or like can you actually take a 5v5 with your ultis? That kind of idea. So this kind of question is who's stronger, you or them? And then you have stall. So stall and race both have nothing to do with the Rift Herald. Actually, it's your response. This is like, here, I'll break this up into chunks. So this first chunk of start and fight are your options that you take if you want to contest the Rift Herald. Stall and race are the situations where you're going to end up giving up the Rift Herald, but you want to be getting something more in the process. So for stalling a Rift Herald, this kind of situation is basically you have your 3 topside basically playing around with them with enemy topside. So like you're just kind of like, imagine if you're like a Nidalee and you're just throwing Nidalee spears at their Rift Herald, it's like you're not actually going to fight them, but you're kind of like stopping recalls. You're just making them waste time. You know, kind of
What
toying with them a bit.
3 roles are in the 3 top side?
This is top, jungle, mid. Because in the situation where you're stalling, this could even be just top and mid. It's just whoever can kind of stop, basically buy time. Because in this situation, you're buying time because your big goal is ADC farming bot plates. You break bot tower. So all of the time that you're letting them hit the Rift Herald, your AD carry needs to be hitting bot tower. This is specifically good for champions like Jinx, Aphelios, whoever else can hit tower. I think like Neela can take towers fast. The take tower fast champ. This is bad if you are playing Jhin or I don't know who else can't take towers fast. I feel like Samira can't take towers fast. Whoever can't take towers fast. If you're playing low tower damage AD. So in general, this is the kind of the idea for stalling is you're just kind of playing them around, and we'll talk a little bit about more of the specific movement of how you play when you're stalling. Because what ends up becoming more important is you have to stop enemy from retaking bot jungle. So this is where you set up traps in, say, your blue side and you're hitting the bot tier 1. So this is where you get jungle, maybe support, maybe mid if the mid can't help with stalling anymore. Setting up traps and forcing the enemy team to walk the long way to get back to their bot tower. And then same kind of idea with race. It's important this one. You are a wave ahead of their Rift Herald play. So imagine, let's say the enemy team gets the 730 or doesn't get the 730 wave and still tries to go get the Rift Herald stuff. So while the enemy team is on the 8-minute wave, you're using the 730 and the 8-minute wave as a 2-wave crash, and you are blasting tower. This is like the situation when you are a wave ahead, you break bot tower with, whatever. You haven't commit support or jungle move. You are just hard forcing bot plates, get your AD carry super ahead. This is kind of like almost like the funnel strat. It's just you stall when you're a wave behind, or you're still kind of even on the map, and then if you're a wave ahead, you can opt in for racing instead. One second. Let's see. Yeah, so for these 4 sections of Rift Herald, this is kind of how you can frame everything. So I feel like I'm doing one of those like YouTube tutorials and I need like the really shitty EDM in the background.
Yeah, true.
Let's see. Yeah, so if Herald spawns here, we talk about the 730 bot wave.
Okay.
So yeah, let's just go into kind of some movement in the game. Let me swap this screen. Change windows. There we go.
I can see it.
All right, can you see this?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll kind of be staring a little bit more at the minimap as well, best we can. So for context through this VOD, we'll kind of be looking at how both teams respond to Rift Herald situation, while also looking at how the waves mentioned kind of sync up. So right now, everybody's kind of basing. It's kind of just whatever. Shut the fuck up, casters. I'm speaking. So
I see Leona pathing bot.
yeah, so these
7.
waves coming out of base right now, this is the 730 wave that when you're going to be framing your proper Rift Herald moves, you want to make sure that you're either crashing on the 730 wave or basically, pushing it out all the way. So for context of this situation now, Fnatic has opted to skip the 730 wave in order to basically get Rel this move for Rift Herald situation. And now we have a couple options presented here for XL. So this little play button thing is messing up the stuff. So we'll just kind of look at the mini map here without this play thing. This 730 bot wave is now a wave where XL is ahead, and they now have options for racing, stalling, or since Leona is on the map first, you can also be looking for starting or fighting. You can kind of you have very flexible options here. It's all about locking into one. Once Aphelios base is here, you have now sacrificed race and stall as options because you're now no longer fighting a 730 bot wave. Using the 730 and the 8-minute bot, or 730 and the 8-minute 730 bot wave, 8-minute mid wave. There we go. I got my words together. Depending on how strong you are on this 8-minute mid wave coming in, is how you do, is how strong you are for the Rift Herald situation. So these pro teams, they opt out of this 8-minute mid wave because this is Corki meta and Corki gets packaged. There's some, there's all the little basically min-maxing that they can do here. But look at the movement here. So this is now the 8-minute mid wave where Leona and Corki push together here, and then everybody's ready to basically pull this Herald. Now,
Is
the reason
Corki gonna
Aphelios-
TP with package? Is that why?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Corki's going to TP with package here, and then they're going to take this fight up here. The reason Aphelios has to go back to bot here is because they did not clear the 730 wave, just for context. So Aphelios could end up staying here because A, it's hard for Jhin to take tower plates, and if Aphelios pushed out that last wave, he wouldn't have to do this. So this is a small mistake by Patrick about wave management, but the idea is still there about the importance of these two waves, because the 730 wave now frees up the bot lane to do whatever they want for Rift Herald, and this 8-minute mid wave, as we see, unlocked XL to walk into top river basically for free. And we'll see how this all kind of plays out, where XL now have some light control over top river. This is how the movement goes, but it's an ebb and flow. Now Jhin has a free move to the mid wave, and Aphelios is still stuck bot. So here's where we'll, I guess, do Q&A / some thought experiments here. Now that Fnatic has started the Rift Herald, what options are present for XL out of starting, fighting, stalling, and racing?
I think XL would maybe race with the bot if the Jhin is gonna go. But let me think. I feel it. If Corki's gonna TP, he can try to like stall it out because he outranges most champions. Graves after catching the wave can go fight. I don't know. There's a lot of options.
Yeah, that's that's good. You're kind of analyzing the situation. So,
but I'm
Does
kind of
Corki
scared
package?
that XL doesn't have their ADC to move, so it's inherently in Fnatic's favor if they try to fight.
Does Corki
Right.
have package?
Yeah.
yes, Corki this is pre-nerf Corki. This is Corki has package in this
Okay,
situation,
so
and
in
has
this
TP coming back.
situation, I want to fight. I'm XL, so I try to stall for my ADC.
If he is
Because
planning
I
on
think-
moving.
I think their 5v5 is also a lot better if Viego doesn't get a reset.
But I don't know how feasible it is for XL's ADC to move all the way up. I feel like he's kind of really
That's why
far
you
away.
stall.
All right, I like what I'm hearing. So yeah, I think that here we've now XL have kind of, I'd say accidentally, have given themselves a situation where they can stall and allow Aphelios to get plates here. So
you could poke with Corki rockets.
yeah, exactly. You've got some range to deal with. You could do these similar kind of thing with like honestly any zone control. I know you guys play some like Vigars, you play some sets. Anything that you're kind of doing that's like pretty non-committal, I'd say. and you can just kind of be annoying. Works out. So again, for Aphelios here, he's kind of got free reign in bot tower. He'll win the 1v1 against Jhin because it's Jhin, and I pray that double sum Aphelios can win. And then Corki can kind of do his part by poking, playing around with package, and keeping track of where Rel is. Because if AD carries in a 1v1, it'll be fine. It'll be great. You don't got to worry about it. As soon as Jhin shows mid in any situation, this is kind of like a, the go time red flag for XL that there's going to be a fight coming. Both teams are kind of dancing here until XL gets really lit and decides to fight instead of just stalling here. This is kind of a mix of fight/stall, and mainly it's due to Mikyx being aggressive here. So what ended up happening here, to kind of apply some vocabulary, break down the situation that just happened. So XL is looking to stall here. They want to let Aphelios hit bot plates. However, Leona is not needed here for the stall to create a better stall situation for Rift Herald movement. This is kind of where Leona and Corki, it's very important that you push in this mid wave so that you can cut them off from re-entering bot jungle. And then you got an opportunity to dive, whoever's bot with a Corki package. There's options to move around. But either way, you do not need to be in top river once the Herald is actually gone. Sure, you can look for a pick, you can do whatever you want, but ultimate goals is you should always be thinking about how your mid wave is unlocking your river control and then syncing, basically using those waves to guide your play. If there's a wave every 30 seconds, which 30-second window are you going to make your play on? So this is just a very brief example of kind of how the Rift Herald situation kind of changes and how you can keep reevaluating your spot for, honestly, every, like, Rift Herald situations change all the time for your first Rift Herald. But what I want to kind of show, I guess, is like can everybody see the Rift kit?
Yeah.
I changed tabs, so. All right. I don't want, just ignore all of these funny little icons anyways. So part of the core movement that occurs here is, well, I guess if you're recording this, is mainly for jungle and how jungle ends up playing through. But after 3 full clears, say in our hypothetical world, we've started blue, we cleared all 6 camps, did whatever, reset, cleared all 6 camps, did whatever, cleared all 6 camps. On this 3rd full clear is usually the 7:30 timer, naturally for bot. Obviously, games get a little more sporadic than that, but in general, off of your 3rd full clear for junglers, this is usually the time where you can start calling for some bot lane assistance. So something that you guys can practice today, some like actionable things, is when you see in your funny little clock in the top, as soon as it's at 7 minutes, be kind of thinking in your head, oh, hey, 7:30 bot wave is on the horizon. How are we going to get, 3 people down here for it? Or it can only be 2. Identify your lane strength if you actually need 3 people for it, because sometimes you just naturally win 2v2. If you're Kalista Renata, you could probably push in bot wave yourselves, and you don't actually need a jungler, but think about the high value of your 7:30 bot wave, unlocking your, basically unlocking your support in AD off of you pushing the 7:30 wave. You've got a couple options of support, but basically the AD carry usually ends up recalling. Support can either recall if they have money or walk up river, but your 7:30 bot wave comes in for this 8-minute mid wave. This pushing in this 8-minute mid wave is what unlocks you into top river to go do all of this. Top lane, basically push in your 8-minute wave as well. You kind of matter less for this movement, which is kind of ironic because it's neutral objective on your side of the map, but you have like the least movement to do.
Sure.
For the most part, you just kind of push in your wave, and you can kind of like, if you're super alpha, you can go start the Rift Herald yourself right at 8 minutes after pushing in your wave. It's something my top laner does, is he'll basically stack the 730 wave and the 8-minute wave here, crash it, and then just walk into jungle and start the Rift Herald. Just because he's like, my top laner's pinned under tower. He has to farm these 2 waves.
Yeah.
I go pull Herald, you come and we
Niles?
start this now. Yeah, Niles. Niles is alpha as fuck when it comes to Rift Herald pulls. He's just like, yep, the enemy top laner can't do anything here. All right, come. That's it. So as soon as this is like, as soon as you reach the 7-minute timer in game, you can even be like thinking about it waves beforehand. Just think about the 7-minute wave that's coming bot, stacking it with the 730. Once you've crashed the 730, support can either roam mid or recall and go mid. But everybody needs to be, you need to basically be 3 people strong for this mid wave. This is jungle support mid. You don't even have to look for super cheesy shit where it's like, oh, I'm going to stand in line brush and see if we can kill them. Doesn't matter. Push the mid wave. If the enemy mid laner tries to touch the wave, you kill him. And then you get yourself control in here. Now, the way control looks for Rift Herald, pink and line brush, pink and pixel. Most of the time you can just sweep Herald Pit. You could put in a pink if you want to feel safe. Wards here, you can maybe get like a ward a little bit deeper if you would like. A ward and try. Or a ward over the wall. So like it could be over Rift Herald wall, or it could be right here. But in general, once you have this kind of vision, you'll see the enemy team's movement of if they're coming to actually fight you, or if they're there first, basically.